high CC abilities, I think they can pull off the team fights by locking down the sky.
Yeah, but then you got to think, yeah, okay, it's great to have those zoning tools, but they don't need to zone against a frontline jungler, if that makes sense. Rare Syndicate don't have a frontline jungler, so their Hadean Era's comp is somewhat less effective. But then again, look, it's early stages, we're only a minute in, let's see how it happens. Let's see how these fights go down.
Yep, Rare Syndicate gonna look to contest this middle treant here. Pretty safe, and it goes over to Hadean Era. Actually, they got the steal, and Girls on Boys will be the first one to fall, getting trapped by that Ordain. And here comes Hadean Era pushing up. Grace forced to pop that healing flask. Those empowered Bad Mojo's already doing about 200 damage, and Bladeheart's he's gonna respect that. He's gonna just pull back up to his lane, and Lyra will be here to help sustain up T-Blade, so he can just put down as much lane pressure as he possibly wants.
Yeah, that was a good start on the side of Hadean Era. Batiste is quite strong early game with that Bad Mojo. Does quite a lot of damage with a double crystal bit, so it was good for them to be able to capture the mid-century, but I like the way they didn't push it too hard. They just kind of took what they got, and now they've poured it back. They're going to be able to rotate that a little bit better, and in the meantime, Bladeheart is really holding his own against Lyra and Ringo in this lane, though, Burger.
Yeah, Rare Syndicate did pick up the second mid-treant, so it doesn't really affect them that much that it got stolen away. As we see Grace rotating up here, and both Lyra and Ringo are out of energy, so they can't really do anything here as contesting-wise, but they will port. Everything will be just alright.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If Bladeheart hadn't been able to hold his own in lane, I guarantee the Lyra at least would have gone down, would have rotated down with the Batiste to take that mid-century. But because he was able to hold his own in lane...
Speaking of rotations, here comes Rare Syndicate. Christian getting caught out in this bush. He will pop the Ordained. He's falling very low, gets stunned up, but pops his healing flask and backs away behind his front line.
Yeah, and then a great rotation by T-Blade just to take the pressure off Hadean Era. Really good interaction there.
Comes the contest. It goes to Girls on Boys. He's got 2 treants now, as that huge Bad Mojo just chunks away so much of his health. Grace will fall as well. That Batiste getting quite fed here in the early game.
Well, it was just a 3-man rotation. That's what it came down to, Burger. The 3-man rotation meant that they were able to put a little bit more pressure, and even though Girls on Boys did get the mid-century, the Batiste was able to capture with an Ordained, and then the Bad Mojo did that really good burst damage that we see Batiste do in this early stages of the game. So, good play by Hadean Era. I like the team synergy so far.
Yep, we see Grace here doing a little dive action. Already a Poison Shiv for Bladeheart, so he's going to cut down a lot of Myth's healing that he's going to provide, as those bounces take him dangerously low. Here comes Girls on Boys. Batiste is nowhere to be found. Here comes a Bright Bulwark. It will stop Sky for the moment, but Hadean Era forced back underneath their own turret.
Yeah, that was a really nice activatable in terms of the Bright Bulwark. Burger, fantastic reactions by Myth 5.
Yep, and we see just the laning phase going pretty much as expected. A couple scares here and there, but nothing too crazy. Bladeheart's got a bit of a CS lead over T-Blade at the moment, as he tries to get a little bit of damage on. And this turret will take a little bit of damage. Here comes the Ordained, stuns up Bladeheart. He will get jumped on. T-Blade popped his flask. Here comes a fountain, and the Bright Bulwark snares up both members. Bladeheart dropping so low. K. Kunsta will have to retreat. At least I hope that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it's I'm just gonna refer to him as Grace, to be honest, because I think that's the easiest way of doing it, is just calling it Grace, because those kind of IGNs are just a little bit harder and a bit...
Oh, there goes Death from Above. Girls on Boys, a little bit over-farmed as compared to Christian. He's already got the Death from Above ult, while, T-Blade just picked up his own, and so... Interesting level differences here. So Girls on Boys hits level 7, and Christian is still sitting at level 5.
Yeah, it is, but then again, Hadean Era are about a K, just under a K gold ahead.
Alright, you're looking at a little engage here. The Hellfire Brew will land on Girls on Boys, as Rare Syndicate will retreat for now. Hopefully, I think they're hoping to catch Hadean Era off guard here by keeping Girls on Boys in the top rush. As T-Blade gets jumped on, we see, but that Ordained keeping KQ in range as he gets chunked down to just a little bit of health.
Yeah, both teams are really just being aggressive, and I like to see this, of course. From a color caster point of view, it's given me a hard time in terms of trying to break down team fights or break down items. But
Christian getting caught out here. The Fearsome Shade will miss wide as he just gets hit by Sky here. As KQ dropping low. T-Blade he can't do much. He's barely at any health, and both of his teammates will fall to that huge aggression.
Yeah, it was that girls on boys with the Surrey strike was able just to secure this kill onto the Batiste, but it's gonna come down to what they can follow up on, and if they can get the third out of this burger, that will be a really successful team fight win overall. But they can't quite. Jungle is going to be taken by Girls on Boys, but they are going to have to now be careful.
Yeah, Batiste has really been babysitting lane for T-Blade, and we see that he's only got 25 CS, while Girls on Boys is sitting at almost double. And as we see Vox falling here, what went wrong for that? Just a little over-engage, you think?
Yeah, I think just over-aggression. He should have just... The lane was pushed. There was no need for him to stay there as long as he stayed there, but... That's one of the issues you can have within a game, and it could lead to Rare Syndicate losing their first turret.
Yep, turret will fall here. Lyra actually getting that last hit, and T-Blade will port with 2,300 gold to spend. He will pick up a monocle, and so two tier 3 items completed on both of these carries. Bladeheart's opted for defense, while Blade is picking up an extra blade, in fact, and so itemization is looking pretty normal.
Yeah, the summary of this game is there's a lot of blades. I think that's the best summary so far in this game, Burger.
Yeah, speaking of the first blade, he drops super low, and Grace will have to heal him up. As Wait For It comes out, Surrey Strike, here comes the Hellfire Brew, will chunk out a bit of Girls on Boys, Death from Above will miss wide, Bright Bulwark will stop any further engages.
Just to really quickly point out, though, as we see the damage is still going on, as the fight is still going on, the damage that came out of T-Blade after he got that first Tyrant, it was really noticeable.
Oh yeah, those huge crit damages, especially with Ringo's ult, or not his ult, his perk, sorry, as we see a bit more engage. Myth 5 gets stunned up here, a huge Holy Nova. Fountain gets popped on both sides as both teams will try to go in. Myth gets stunned by the Death from Above, and he will fall early. Nothing Hadean Era can do now. They're just going to be forced to back off here. But look, they're staying in this brush, hoping to catch a carry out of position. But it doesn't look like they will. Or will they? Here comes Bladeheart. Oh, he's so low. Within an inch of health, Ringo will chunk him down. And there goes Grace, falling to a bad mojo. Look at this. Underfarmed Christian doesn't even care, just pressuring that lane.
Well, it shows you the confidence that...
Oh, that huge fear. He just gets deleted off the fold. That's an ace. Oh my gosh, you guys are gods.
Yeah, it's funny because I think that's a typical example of what I was just going to touch on, which is the confidence that Hadean Era have in each other as a team. The Lyra went down, but that didn't stop them pushing. You know, their thought process was, okay, our support's gone down, but we still have good CC. Blade has fantastic damage coming out from the Ringo. Let's keep pushing. We have full confidence in ourselves. And that's what they did. And you saw that that Rare Syndicate paid the price for that.
Yep. Girls on Boys only increasing his farm lead over Christian, but it's going to matter less and less as they get late game, as the Baptiste is just going to be there to provide utility so that Blade can just hard carry. that point as the second monocle being picked up for Blade here. He's got a reflex block as well.
Yeah, and we do also see that Christian has gone for the Dragon's Eye second item, which means he will be able to build up his crystal power stacks as he deals out the bad mojos within
That
the
huge forward barrage damage, but he will get healed up by Lyra as nothing really happens here. But here comes Ringo. He knows he can do a huge amount of damage. Myth 5 going dangerously low. Hellfire Brew portals away, and he will live to fight another day as Bad Mojo starts to chunk out a bit more health here. Ordain blocked out as Fountain gets popped for Rare Syndicate. Chi-Blade just kiting and kiting. He's trying to do anything he can, possibly, but their health bars are just so low. And there goes Grace, the first kill that they needed. Sky will fall next. Ringo, 6-0. Huge amounts of damage.
T-Blade, you absolute beautiful man with that Spellfire double Tyrants.
Oh no, those resonance bounces, not what they wanted. They could have gotten, a turret or a gold mine or something, but they got a little bit too greedy there, and that's what killed both of the captains.
Plus you can't deny the damage that Crystal Sentry was doing to both the Ringo and the Lyra.
Oh, the fear gets blocked. Christian in trouble. He's able to run away with a sliver of HP, but it doesn't matter. Resonance bounces take him down. Is this the late game collapse that you keep talking about?
No, that was just basically the Batiste overstaying his welcome, to be honest, in that team fight. However, because he died after the Ringo,
Myth stole that camp.
It up. Wow, absolutely fantastic. As Ringo was up when Batiste died, it didn't count as an ace, so it's just going to be a kill. It does show that it's kind of Rare Syndicate going, no, we're still in this game, guys. We're not afraid to go for these kills, as we do see the Lyra has now picked up a null wave. In these team fights, the null wave is going to be very important for Myth 5. If Myth 5 can activate the null wave onto the Grace, that will essentially deem Grace immobile in terms of activatables and heals. It will make her ultimate just nothing. Divine Intervention will not be able to be activated, either will Fountain, and that will give a big advantage to Hadean Era in these team fights.
Alright, Myth getting caught up here, gets stunned. This is Death from Above, zoning him out from his team. But the Ordain will land, he'll run away, and that huge fear gets blocked. Myth 5 falls, he fell to the sky as Bladeheart keeps kiting backwards. He's stunned by the Ordain, but good disengage there. It really shows the synergy from Christian and Blade as, oh my gosh, that huge empowered attack, and there it goes. T-Blade now free to roam in the backline. He blocks the Holy Nova as KQ tries in vain to keep him off the carries, and that's going to be another ace for Hadean Era. Look at that.
12 Dragon Eye stacks Christian had in that team fight, because they kept on kind of disengaging and re-engaging, and it's kind of how these team fights have been going along. And even though Blade doesn't have a breaking point, the consistent damage that's coming out of Spellfire double Tyrants on the Ringo is just, it's hurting Rare Syndicate so much. And even though he's afraid that Lyra, we're seeing the Lyra kind of go down in these team fights quite quickly, as you mentioned, and as I mentioned, because Blade and Christian seem to have so much confidence and synergy together, they are really carrying these team fights. They're taking on 3v2, Burger.
Oh, absolutely. Those Ordains are huge, and by capturing any carry in the Ordain, you can't really move, and so those empowered bad mojos are gonna slam like trucks.
Yeah, definitely, and we are at the 15-minute mark, so the Kraken is up. Whoever wins this next team fight, I do believe will
Oh my gosh, girls on boys, 400 crit damage, can't do anything about it. Myth 5 will get stunned here, but he stays alive somehow. Bladeheart will take that Divine Intervention as T-Blade looks to be in trouble here. he will fall. But Christian, what can he do here? He's got to avoid the ace. Fearsome Shade is up in 5 seconds, so he can hope to. There we go. There's the disengage, and the huge bad mojo. He's back in this game.
But now the Crystal Sentry is up, and it does seem like Christian is just gonna look to
Oh no! Be
run
careful.
away.
He will survive. Both teams coming within their skin of their teeth.
These team fights, Burger, you just don't know who's gonna win them. Both teams are playing a very disengaged, re-engaged type strategy in these team fights where they're looking to get the activatables off, but then if it doesn't quite work out, they're backing off, then they're going in for another pop. And because of this, we're seeing these very elongated fights. And I nearly would like to see Blade sell his healing flask and work towards a breaking point. Because if he gets a breaking point mixed with the spell sword double tyrants, it will give him even more damage in these late elongated fights.
Yeah, that is true. We see a tier 3 armor being completed on Bladeheart before his third item, which shows that he's really respecting the damage. And he's got that piercing spear, which means he's probably going for a bone saw here, as that the Imperial Sigil will spot out Rare Syndicate so they can't get the jump on. But speaking of spotting out, the vision in this game has been minimal to non-existent at best.
I just don't think it's really needed because both teams have range comps, and especially from Lyra point of view, you have the Imperial Sigil, which is going to be able to spot them out. And then you have the Resonance Bounce from Bladeheart, which is possibly going to be able to scout them out. But I just want to touch really quickly as Hadean are going to look to maybe even capture the Kraken. But it seems like KQ has spotted what is happening.
Yeah, look at that. They got the Kraken 3/4 of the way up, basically, while Myth was just distracting in the front line. And there goes Hadean Arrow will take the Kraken. That's an ace buff for them, as Myth will fall, but I don't think it'll matter, because the Kraken's just going to keep marching down, so the longer that these two guys can just distract, honestly, is more time that gives the Kraken. As Christian falls, T-Blade's got to be careful here. He can't fall to Girls on Boys, but he's going to re-engage anyway. Those huge basic attacks just tearing through. He might have overstayed his welcome. Yeah, careless positioning gets him killed here. I believe they'll be able to bounce back. They'll get one turret from this, crack open the base, and hopefully they can just snowball it from there.
Yeah, but look at the ace minions for Rare Syndicate. It seems like they're actually going to take down the first turret from Hadean, so that's even more of a benefit for Rare Syndicate. And like that
turret survived like 1 HP.
Yeah, I do feel like that is essentially a success for Rare Syndicate. Yes, Hadean captured the Kraken, but at what gain? One, you've given 500 free gold to Rare Syndicate straight out, 500 gold each, I may add, so that's 1500 gold. That is essentially
a free infusion.
A free infusion going into next team fight. And also they kind of lost two of their team. Well, sorry, they lost all three. They got ace and nearly lost their first turret in the process. I want to touch really quickly on the fact that it seems like Blade is going for...
you see Christian getting caught out here. Sorry to interrupt, but he will fall. Death from above stuns up Myth, but he portals out of there decent enough. Turret, the barrier is still on, so it's going to start hitting KQ pretty hard, but it will fall. And this is extremely good late game being played by Rare Syndicate here. They've evened up the kills. The gold is pretty much even as well. So, go ahead. What were you going to say about that last team fight?
Well, I'm gonna go away from that, and I want to touch really quickly on how clever it is by Rare Syndicate to take full advantage of the kill onto Christian. Not only did they take the turret, but they then, as a 3-man team, they focus on the Crystal Sentry, which is an objective at the end of the day, Burger. And as an objective, it's a bonus in terms of gold, but it's also a bonus in terms of the overall game, because if they can take down the Crystal Sentry and eliminate it, it gives them a lot more advantage in this jungle. I don't know what Christian was doing down there on his own. In this late game, when there's little vision, you've got to stick together as a 3-man team, Burger. It's vitally important. So we will see, as the Kraken is going to spawn out soon, what will happen in this team fight.
Yeah, here comes the Kraken. This team fight is crucial. The Holy Nova going to get blocked, and the Atlas will land. So Vox is going to be hamstrung for a little bit as, oh gosh, a huge damage. Lyra can't survive, but neither can Girls on Boys. T-Blade just getting incredible amounts of damage as that, oh, he falls. Bladeheart on an inch of health. Christian's bad mojo is getting body blocked just enough here. And T-Blade has picked up a bone saw as his 4th item instead of the breaking point like you were talking about. And I think that showed in the last team fight.
I disagree with that, though, to be honest. Okay, here's why. Because I think that T-Blade's focus is Girls on Boys. Okay? Because Girls on Boys has 0 weapon power defense. Okay? Straight out. So if you're focusing on a hero that has 0 weapon power defense, why would you get Bonesaw? Yes, okay, it means that you're shredding the armor on the other enemy heroes, but when you want to focus on taking down one single enemy hero, which I think is really important as a team, but even as an individual hero, I think he would be better off getting either a triple Tyrant, a Tornado Trigger, or even, as I mentioned, a Breaking.
Oh, Sentry will fall, but what price will they pay for it? KQ just doing his best to distract, but he'll fall, and with the Kraken up and no support, I don't think a Rare Syndicate can safely contest this. It's gonna look like a Kraken going to Hadean era.
Oh, this game, nearly 23 minutes in, Burger, and each team have made their kind of slight mistakes or misplays or misjudgments in these team fights, and it's a little bit unfortunate that the mistakes or the misplays have gone against Rare Syndicate in terms of when the Kraken has spawned up. But as a team, you've got to be aware of when the Kraken is about to spawn, Burger. So when you are kind of, let's say, either going into an engagement or staying in the enemy jungle, that you don't expose yourself.
Oh, there's the Portal Bulwark. It's a huge tool there, and his Girls on Boys just gets so low. But oh, the heal got canceled, and T-Blade, he will fall as well. So both carries are down, and Myth 5 down as well. Christian's gonna have to. There's nothing a whole lot he can do here. That's gonna be an ace, and only one turret maybe.
I think they could I don't know if they could go
so
for
close.
a win. No, I don't know if they even could have gone for the win, because they had 38 seconds. I feel like they would have nearly have been better going for the win, in my opinion. However, they are just going to take down this Kraken as quickly as possible, and hopefully that the last turret does not get taken down, but I feel it will. Sky's not up for another 10 seconds, Burger. So you expose Vein Crystal, and if you don't put down Vision, which I don't think KQ has a slot available to put Vision
he's picked up that second reflex block instead.
Yeah, I think he should sell the reflex block, get some scout traps, which he is doing, and you want to make sure that you are putting scout traps in the right areas, because Ringo, with that crit, is going to be able to burst down that Vein Crystal quite quickly.
Yeah, KQ here, looking like not looking like himself. I don't think he's been a bit overextended in these last couple fights. Same with Myth, and the captains have dropped.
Yeah.
And, yeah, go ahead.
Well, see, that's why, as much as I get that Grace is a really strong support hero, she works really well or best when she has a frontline jungler on her team. She works weakest when she has 2 ranged heroes on her team, in my opinion. Doesn't matter how strong she is, in my opinion, the weakest as a support when she has 2 ranged heroes, because she's an aggressive captain. Even though she is able to tank somewhat, she's an aggressive captain that goes in with the frontline jungler, looks to take down the enemy team, and then is able to provide that heal.
Alright, there's the aggression you were talking about. Myth 5 getting a little bit caught out here as the Hellfire Brew will land on the Bladeheart. One thing I noticed was that Bladeheart's only got 3 items. He's opted for 2 defense, while Girls on Boys has opted for 4 defense. And, which even...
So I've opted for 4 attack. Sorry, just to...
Oh yeah, sorry, 4 attack items.
No problem at all. Because I was like, 4 defense? What? It's support? But anyway, go on.
Yeah, right. So, T-Blade's Bonesaw is going to be even less effective now, because that's no more armor for him to shred. As Myth lands that, lands the Atlas, the fear is going to come through, but he will fall. He's just not got enough health to tank here. But Girls on Boys just deletes T-Blade. This is not looking good. Oh, he blocks the... Oh, no!
Triple kill for Sky, 4 damage items. They are going to be able to secure the Kraken, or in my opinion, they would even be better off just going straight out for this game win. And it seems like Fox is going to push while KQ and Girls on Boys go for this Kraken. I do feel that's possibly the absolute safest option, because the turret goes down. You only have the 2 Vein Crystal turrets left, and which the Kraken and even the Vox will even potentially be able to do.
Yeah, we see T-Blade finally selling that Bonesaw and opting for a breaking point. The smart option here, as this skill looks to be the last fight of the game.
Yeah. I said breaking point is the item he should have gone for straight away. Bonesaw is not viable. Now, if he can use that breaking point with the initial burst of the Spell Sword, Double Tyrants to focus down the Sky, take down the Sky, and then use the breaking point stacks to focus on the Vox, I do really feel that will be a big advantage for them. But they have to find the right engagement.
Yeah, the right engagement may be sooner than you think. Here comes that Atlas to land on T-Blade. He's just going to have to kite back until it comes off. The Death from Above will zone them out. The Hellfire Brew lands on 2 members, but not a whole lot of damage. Myth getting just eaten alive here. T-Blade uses his reflex block to stay alive, but he will die. Bladeheart, the Fountain and Divine Intervention save him. Christian will be the last to eventually fall. That's an ace. That looks like to be game here for Rare Syndicate. Good game, well played on both sides.
Yeah, I've got to give full respect and props to both teams. They played their heart out. You can tell that they did the best they could, and they played their respective comps really nicely with very few mistakes and very few misplays, and to the best strengths that they could. However, to kind of just touch a little bit on the weaknesses, Lyra, great choice, but just not that frontline tank that I feel Hadean era needed. That's something like an Arden or even a Lance could have provided, because she was going down in these team fights really quickly. And even though in the early to mid game Christian and T-Blade were able to carry on the team fights with confidence, when you got late game and Girls and Boys had the 4 damage items and even Blade as well as the double heal from KQ, it just wasn't enough to take on a 3v2 situation. Therefore they ended up losing those late game fights, Burger.
Yeah, something I wanted to touch on a little bit was the positioning from Lyra. She was diving forward like she's supposed to do to drop the Atlas and the Bulwark, but it seemed like Blade and Christian weren't following up like they should be, and that was a big mistake that they made. But if they can improve the positioning, it was such a close game. I really feel like they can take game 2 here.
Oh, 100%. I actually have full confidence that they can look to take game 2, and I just want to point out a little bit nicely that I did get the correct call on the winning team of this first match, Burger. Just a caster 1-0, you know. But anyway, because I'm a little bit competitive like that. I know. But I did. But just to kind of touch on a bit of a serious note, that's what I saw from the Rare Syndicate comp. I saw that late game damage that was gonna come out from the sky. I saw the fact that Hadean Era didn't have a frontline hero to focus down on the box, or even in this case focus down onto the sky. If you had something like Ataka to counter the potential sky, or even if it had been Taka onto the sky, that would have put a lot more pressure on Rare Syndicate. But because they only had the CC from the Batiste and not really the core damage that was needed, like I mentioned, late game, it just went towards the Rare Syndicate.
Yep, and we're seeing the draft starting up for game number 2 here. What do you think that they're going to pull out? Do you think same comps? Do you think comfort comps?
Well, what is interesting is that Grace has been banned on the first ban, and just to let everybody know that Rare Syndicate is now on the left-hand side for this second game, and Team Hadean Era is on the is on the right-hand side of this second game. So that is interesting first ban. I kind of feel it's a bit of a throwaway ban, Burger. When I say throwaway, it's still a good ban because Grace is strong, but by banning the Grace, it means that if they ban the Varia, you're gonna have Churnwalker. If they ban the Churnwalker, you're gonna have Varia, and it does mean it puts Hadean Era in a slightly tighter position on their first ban.
Yep, we're seeing, Grace is it's a respect ban. That's the word I'm trying to say. Hadean Era is taking their time on this ban, not really giving anything away yet.
No, they aren't, because and it's good that they are taking their time, because they know they're in a bit of a tricky situation, because as I mentioned, you ban one meta hero, you leave another meta hero open. Even though there are 3 or 4, we do see Varia is banned. I do think that's the wisest choice as far as a ban, because even though Churnwalker is strong, he is counterable, again countered by the right comp. You just got to know how to play against your Churnwalker. But Varia is so hard to play against because she has such long range and is viable between either weapon power or crystal power. So good choice by Hadean Era. And we see
there goes the Churnwalker.
Yeah, Churnwalker is picked up by Rare Syndicate. Really solid choice. The second strongest captain right now. Deals a lot of damage when hooked onto enemies. And the kind of comp that I do think Hadean Era now need to follow up is a comp that will put a lot of pressure on Churnwalker in an early fight situation. As in, you don't want a comp that's an elongated team fight.
Yep, and we see Ringo being picked up first, just giving T-Blade his comfort pick, and then Blackfeather banned here.
Wise pick up, wise ban, but I want to see a frontline jungler for Hadean Era. I want to see that frontline jungler that's gonna literally focus and even just put pressure on the likes of Churnwalker and stop those chains from coming out a little bit easier, and just just put more pressure on Rare Syndicate, and also give a lot more freedom for T-Blade to do that damage on the Ringo, because we saw that with the spell Sword Double Tyrants that the damage is pretty immense.
Yeah, Churnwalker wants to pull heroes to him. He doesn't want to be dove on top of. And so if you do have that front line like you're talking about, as we see Lyra being banned here, that Hadean Era now has a good opportunity to pick up a jungler here that can force Rare Syndicate to maybe adapt their strategy that they didn't want to play, but now are being forced to play it because of the counter picks coming out of Hadean Era.
Yeah, but I don't actually agree with the Lyra ban, because Lyra, in my opinion, you would have given Churnwalker just a good chance to hook on to the enemy team. Whereas if you had a ban something like an Arden, like a meta captain, if you had a ban something like a Koshka, a Cruel, a really strong frontliner.
Arden and Batiste being the next two pickups. Arden for Hadean Era, Batiste for Rare Syndicate. You know, it's looking like a mobility comp for Hadean Era, so that Churnwalker can't land the hooks and that Batiste can't land the Ordain. So I'd like to see Kashka being played on Hadean Era, just a strong jungler who can dance around the fights and not necessarily be pinned down by it.
Yeah, but if you play something like a Koshka, you have the threat of being, let's say, ordained quite easy and then getting chained and then getting bursted down by the bad mojo. So, because Koshka, even as annoying as she is quite squishy. Possibly if you're going on an assassin jungler type route, Reza might be more viable for Hadean Era, or even they could go for double weapon power. They could go for Glaive. And Glaive Arden is a really good comp.
Yep, as we see, Vox finishing out the comp for Rare Syndicate. Churnwalker, Batiste, Vox. Interesting to see what Hadean Era can come up with in their final pick. Yeah, I'm hoping that they pick an assassin because, other than, you know, Churnwalker, obviously, Batiste is kind of squishy, like we saw that Christian played last game, and so is Vox if he opts to go for the four offense items, excuse me. So hopefully they can just pick something that can burst quickly, so that, you know, Vox doesn't have time to stack up, Batiste doesn't have time to stack up. And what do you think, Imperium?
I'm thinking Taka. You
All
go
right.
for Taka, that's going to cause a distraction, jump onto the Vox. No, they've gone for Lorelei.
Oh,
Lorelei.
no. You know...
Oh, I don't know what to make of this. I don't know if it's going to be... Here, I'm going to throw one potential comp set for you, that it could be CP Arden and support Lorelei.
Yeah, I do know Christian does like his off-meta stuff, and he does play a decently good CP Lorelei, and if you can capture an enemy in that stun while you have enough CP, the damage over time can actually be pretty substantial if, like, you can catch a Vox, and then if Blade gets his spell sword build, then he can take, you know, 3 basic attacks and finish off that stunned Vox.
Yeah, but what I worry is that I feel Lorelei really does fall off late game. Burger, really strong as a hero, even Crystal Power early to mid game, but come late game, I kind of feel she falls off a little bit. And also because you're gonna have the Churnwalker is gonna be able to hook and chain onto the enemy team somewhat easily because Lorelei isn't really super mobile, and because you got no frontliner again, you're just giving Vox a chance to just stack up and do the late game damage. I would like to see Rare Syndicate Vox on this I would like to see Edwin on this Vox build a bit more of an aggressive Vox comp, you know, as in go for the 4 damage item, and then come late game is just going to be a bit of a powerhouse, because I don't think Batiste is going to be in that position where he's going to be able to provide a lot of damage in this late game. Early to mid, yes, but not late game.
Yep, we're seeing, you know, an average first rotation, just both carries on both sides staying back so that they can get up their level 2. Something that is probably good for Rare Syndicate. Batiste needs his level 2 in order to hit his first spike, and he can't really do a whole lot with just the bad mojo. He needs the target to be locked down first. And so we see him pick that up right now, and he's got the double crystal bit that was so good in the first game that we see. Hopefully they're going to take the mid treant and a couple kills here.
Yeah, but I do think they're just going to look to lock down the sentry, which they do, and then they're gonna back off. Good play by Rare Syndicate. The Batiste just looking to pour back, get a couple of items. We've seen go for he's gone for boots and an hourglass. which is good, but what is interesting...
KQ here, sorry to interrupt, but KQ is just getting demolished by this 3-man engage, and now it looks like Christian will be on the receiving end of some punishment. The Rare Syndicate biting back with full force, forcing the healing flask out of him. That's gonna hurt a little bit later.
Yeah, but I do feel like the Bladeheart got a little bit too frontliney and did take a bit too much damage. You know, and I get that he went up lane to help his team out, but now he's got to think about his jungle rotation. He's got to make sure that he gets the rotation a little bit better than Christian on this Lorelei, because you want to make sure that possibly you get to the mid-century again and take another mid-century and just create a bit of a snowball effect, because this game does heavily rely...
Oh no, T-Blade and Edwin are both gonna fall here. The damage over time from KQ gonna be too strong, as Battle Arden just gonna destroy him a little bit, but with 1 HP remaining, he's gonna have to back off here. Bladeheart might look for that cheeky steal, but he is not able to find it.
Yeah, early game kills, these games, I'm having to be more and more careful of when I kind of talk, because in any given second, Burger, a fight can initiate, and I know that's kind of obvious with Vainglory, but in this game I'm noticing it more and more. In just between the first game and this game, they're not afraid to fight each other, which is really good stuff to see.
Yeah, both teams are doing very aggressive rotations, bringing their jungler up to lane quite a lot, so that they're able to put pressure on these turrets and put pressure on each of the heroes. We see 3 kills at 3 minutes. You know, not anything huge, as we see T-Blade porting back here. But you know, not exactly comfortable either. Both of these teams are going to have to be playing on their toes at all times.
Yeah, T-Blade has got the spell sword in the first 3 under 4 minutes. That's pretty good stuff. Edwin is lying on 1200 gold, not able to get to jungle straight away because now the lane is pushed. That will give T-Blade a bit of advantage, and I'd like to see Hadean Era capitalize on that, and then maybe even do a bit of a turret push.
Yeah, they do have to be careful though. Churnwalker's got his fountain, while Arden doesn't have his quite up yet. He's got the gold too, but he hasn't had a time to shop. As we see it engage, triple chains doing a lot of shared damage, as T-Blade and Christian going very low. Those bad mojos starting to hit super hard. Both Hadean Era will survive, but only on a sliver of health.
Yeah, the AoE of those bad mojos is really being noticed in this early stage, but we know that Batiste is like that.
Edwin here looking for a punish under turret. He will find it, as KQ can juggle the turret aggro, and they're looking for more blood, as Myth is hooked in by the torment, and he's so low, but that turret is just relentless pursuing Edwin. But look at that, the expert juggling of the turret aggro let Edwin take that kill, and now they've got about a 2,000 gold lead at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, but I feel like that was a slight mistake from Rare Syndicate, because yeah, okay, they got the kills, but this game is about objectives, Burger. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all well and good getting a kill. Everybody loves getting a kill, especially being able to juggle turret aggro. But what did they gain from that? They gained nothing. A bit of gold, yeah, bit of gold from killing. But when you take down that first turret, you open up the map for your team. You expose the enemy team more. It makes it less safe for them. And look at the objective taking that Hadean Era focusing on.
Yeah, T-Blade already doing a ton of damage with his Ringo perk. And Christian, you have to be careful. The stun's going to be blocked, but that's a block already gone, as the Ordain's going to land. Fountain has to be popped from Myth. He can't afford to re-engage here while the turret is so low.
Yeah, now Rare Syndicate are just going to have to Keep the pressure on, but keep focus on the turret. If they can focus on the turret with this minion wave push, I don't know why they're leaving Edwin on their own.
They're hunting for kills, Imperium. That huge bad mojo, forcing the fountain out, and Vox falls here. KQ is getting lit up as well. The fear gets blocked by T-Blade, but he's keep pushing, building up that weapon damage. And Christian, he's got nothing left. There's no fountain. There's no Vanguard. They're playing on a razor's edge here as the turret will fall.
Finally, that's what I wanted to see 2 minutes ago, Burger. That's what should have happened 2 minutes ago. However, because, like we mentioned, they were hunting for kills, like I said, well and good, they weren't gaining objective and map-focused
huge disrespect fear there. Bladeheart pushes them away.
Yeah. See, getting the Crystal Sentry, that's good, but you want to now follow it up, gain a little bit of map control, follow it up, and see what they can do in these, again, later fights as...
We're seeing another engage here. The Hadean era can't do anything. They're always so low by those hooks and chains. As you see, KQ getting lit up, but they're forced to retreat under turret yet again. Christian has no defense. T-Blade only has a reflex block. There's not a whole lot they can do against this this massive damage coming out from Rare Syndicate.
Yeah, it's just the AoE damage. It's really hard to...
Oh, wow, that huge just damage coming out of Vox, and they're looking to put pressure on this turret. But T-Blade's juggling them away. He's building towards a breaking point. You see, second item.
Yeah, and just wanna talk now. This is the type of rotations I want to see coming out from Rare Syndicate. Now they need to follow up, and they should even go for... Goldmine could be a little bit unsafe, but by going as a 3-man team in these rotations, taking the enemy jungle, taking the turret, getting a kill or two here or there, you are controlling the map and you're controlling the game, which is so important as you get into the later parts of this game, Burger.
Yep, we see about 4,000 gold now in the lead of Rare Syndicate, which is, you know, not hugely, but it's sizable. It's enough to make Hadean era uncomfortable. And that's exactly where you don't want to be when you're playing a sort of off-meta comp with this CP Lorelei. You want to be comfortable. You want to be in the lead so that you're playing more aggressively, and maybe playing more aggressively can force you to play, you know, more in the game mentally. As if you get taken out by mental games, like this just incredible map control by Rare Syndicate, then it just leads to a snowball effect as we see Goldmine being started up here.
Yeah, I think it's actually wise from the start of Goldmine, but you got to be careful and not let the lane be pushed too much and then lose a turret in the process. So that's something they do need to continue to focus on. That not...
Oh no, Arden's getting stunned. He drops the gauntlet to keep everyone in line, but the damage is just too much. Myth 5 again, and no matter what hero he's on, he just drops so low in these fights. Christian will drop double kill for Vox. Can he get a triple? Kiting forward. T-Blade blocking himself out of the Ordained. Bladeheart going dangerously low, but that sentry will go down. And not looking good here for Hadean era.
No, it's not. I feel like it was overall a bit of a bad choice to go for this Lorelei. I mentioned that they needed a frontline jungler that was going to be able to jump onto the Turnwalker and stop him from, let's say, getting a hook and chain or getting even 2 hooks onto the enemy team. But by going by this backline jungler in Lorelei, which is good, she provides good CC, she provides good damage compared to Baptiste. Baptiste does so much, does such a better job than Lorelei in these team fights, especially when you've got another ranged hero and a Turnwalker, which is great.
Speaking of team fights, here comes another little engage here. Christian's able to get the stun so they can get away, but it's just the KQ is just walking straight up to Myth and Christian, landing hooks on them, and then just doing activating his Torment, just pulling them in. Just not forcing them to back away, be on the back foot. And I have played against Christian quite a few times, and he likes his mages. He likes the squishier, high damage heroes, and by giving him this Lorelei, they're trying to give him something he's more comfortable on, but I'm not sure if comfortable is the right word here when they're sitting 8,000 gold down at 11 minutes.
Yeah, there's a balance between comfortable and essentially strong and counter.
Oh, we see the Torment landing on T-Blade. He's gonna have to back off, be a little careful, but here comes the engage from Edwin. Can he do anything? No breaking point means he's not gonna be stacking up, but he gets stunned by the wall there as T-Blade's still healthy. He's stacking up 8 stacks now. Lorelei will fall 9 stacks. This is going disastrous. Christian's 0-4. He keeps dying in these team fights. Really, as the sentry goes down even, just the game sense from Rare Syndicate is just very good right now, taking objectives while getting kills. And there goes T-Blade. Myth is hooked, and he will fall as well. That's an ace. Ace for Rare Syndicate. And turrets, if I had anything to say about that.
Yeah, now if Bladeheart can focus and get this turret, it will be definitely a good push on the side of Rare Syndicate. But yeah, I want to touch on the fact that, like I mentioned, just want to see what's happening here.
Oh no, Lorelei getting stunned again, getting dropped solo. Bladeheart, he's got the sustain, but it's not going to be enough. He will be shut down. But, okay. 1-for-1 trade here.
Yeah, but that was a typical example of the fact that the Batiste is doing a better job than Lorelei in what they are kind of trying to do as separate heroes, if that makes sense. As in, Lorelei is kind of trying to provide a bit of a CC for the Ringo, provide that kind of stun, and then the heal with her water wall. Sorry, the shield with her water wall. But Batiste is doing a better job because he has his perk, which is the Reap perk, which gives him health on his basic attacks. After 4 of the basic attacks, it gives himself heal for, I believe it's something like 3 seconds. So it's doing a better job than the Lorelei, and that means that in a team fight situation, he's able to focus on...
the huge fish food lands as the gold mine is going to be contested. Hadean Era is aware of it, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull this out here. Oh, the gauntlet was a second too late. He's item silenced. He falls again. The stun and the fear, the CC combo is too much for T-Blade here as he falls. Christian gets hooked. Not much you can do about that. That's another ace.
Yeah, and that just seems like it's starting to go just a little bit more and more downhill for a Hadean Era in the second game. It's not quite as close. And that's nothing against Hadean Era as a team. I just think it came down to the draft, Burger. They simply lost the draft. They had the last pick. They should have used it to pick a stronger, tankier frontline jungler, like even a Rhyme, like a Reza that isn't necessarily strong but is quite mobile and in your face and a distraction. And because they didn't go for that, Rare Syndicate just have complete control over these team fights.
You've said it. The sentry is down. They're just taking huge damage. Christian isn't even safe in his own jungle. T-Blade drops to the trespass, and 3 aces in what seems as many minutes. It seems like they don't even need the Kraken. They're just marching down the lane, cracking open 1 turret. Gonna get a second here, possibly. But it looks like in the second turret's gonna fall, and they're just gonna go for a game win right here. Rare Syndicate, complete control over this game.
It's like they went into overdrive in those last 3 or 4 minutes, but I'd like to see KQ just aiding his team and getting that into securing the win. Bit of fun he was doing, but you got to just focus on getting the team-wide win. In the process, they did. Vaincrystal knockdown. That is second game to Rare Syndicate, and definitely a different type of game than the first one, Burger. We saw the Vox being a lot more aggressive on the side of rare elite this game, because like I said, went for 4 damage items. You go for a 4th damage item on a box, you're able to be a lot more aggressive. And one thing I want to point out that was really interesting on Edwin is he went for war threads. That meant that in a